Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us this evening for the Entrepreneurship World Cup Antigua and Barbuda 2022. And so I am excited to be here with everyone who is tuning in live. We apologize for the delay, but as with everything, we had to make sure that we had everything set and ready for an amazing pitch competition this evening for our finalists. My name is Crystal Legrand, and I am the representative of EWC Caribbean, and I will also be your host for this evening's pitch competition. I am also the Chief Implementation Officer for EWC Caribbean, and I am bringing you greetings not only from myself, but also from our partners, from our representatives, from our president of EWC Caribbean, Dr. Marcia Brandon, who unfortunately could not be here with us tonight, but she has sent her regards and her warm welcome to everyone who is tuning in live for the finalists, the judges, and the organizers. Thank you so much for your contributions and for being here in this moment and sharing with us in this experience. So without any further ado, because I know that some of you may have been waiting for us to start for some time now, I'll be sharing our first video, and it is from the director of the Global Entrepreneurship Network, Mr. Jonathan Altman. And here's a few words from Mr. Altman.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Altmans, and thanks to the organizers, the judges, the investors at today's Entrepreneurship World Cup National Finals. A very big special thanks, however, to all of our competitors. You're not just the doers and the dreamers of our society, but you're taking the risks. You're the ones that are helping us to navigate through a period of uncertainty, addressing some of the big challenges of our day, ranging from climate change to emerging from this pandemic, and of course, all of the frontier issues that are faced by our various industry verticals around the world. You know, Gen Global, we began our journey about 15 years ago, focusing on the startup community development and on supporting the entrepreneurial support organizations that help to make your path easier. And 5 years ago, we decided to accelerate our work on the front line with you, the founders. It was marked and kicked off with Richard Branson in the opening of our first startup campus, now the largest in Africa, called 22 on Sloan in Johannesburg. And since then, we've reached more than 500,000 founders over the course of this last few years. We're very proud to say in that process, it's required developing early stage investor networks around the world. We've launched grants programs and of course provided a lot of accelerator support and launched the Founders Club. We're very, very excited to be intricately with you on this journey through the Entrepreneurship World Cup. So I want to invite you to stay with us. We're in it for the long haul. Either get involved in one or more of our programs on the ground, we're in most countries, or come meet us in person. Our next live gathering, which we do every year, is called the Global Entrepreneurship Congress. And the next one will be May 1 through 4 of 2023 in Melbourne, Australia. So thanks for letting me take a few seconds to wish you luck today and to thank you for all you do in not just helping develop your own future, but that of your fellow citizens and the communities around you.
We are super thankful to the Global Entrepreneurship Network and everyone behind the scenes on the Entrepreneurship World Cup that is enabling us to host these events. These entrepreneurship competitions are really geared towards not just being a pitch competition, but an opportunity to connect you with investors and connect you with resources. So I hope that every entrepreneur who has gone through this process is doing what they need to do to maximize their experience and to be able to capitalize on the opportunity that is presented here. So if you've had any opportunity to go through the platform, my strongest advice is to entrepreneurs is to make sure that you are experiencing every single aspect of this event, every single aspect of the platform and what is made available to entrepreneurs in the EWC competition. As we know, this is more than just a competition. This is access to what you need to take your business to the next level. So thank you so much for having the bravery and having the heart to be an entrepreneur, and also for applying for this event. Before we move forward, I would love to introduce you to some amazing persons that have volunteered their time to be here with us tonight, and these are our judges. So our judges are here with us this evening. They have the extremely difficult responsibility to select a winner to represent Antigua and Barbuda. And so without further ado, I will introduce our judges for this evening and allow them to say a few words if they so choose. So first up, we have Mr. Kadeen Gamble. And I hope that I did your name justice. And if not, please correct me, because I do not want to call your name incorrectly for the rest of this evening. So Mr. Gamble, he is the business and IT consultant who has worked with entrepreneurs for over 15 years. He has a special interest in the use of technology in business as well as general business development. He is a part-time facilitator for the GUARD Center and Antigua and Barbuda Institute of Technology. His qualifications include his Bachelor of Science, where he majored in IT and management, and a master's in electronic commerce, both from UWI, Cave Hill campus in Barbados. And he has a desire to see more business across the region grow beyond the startup stage using technological innovation and efficient business practices. Mr. Gums, thank you for being here with us. And if you would like to, you can say a quick few words before we get started.
Yes, good evening. Thank you. Just like to wish all of the contestants all of the best. I look forward to seeing what they present this evening. I know that they've put a lot of work into it, and so I look to see the results. All right, so all the best to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you so much for, offering your time to be here with us this evening. Next, we have Mistress Nassel Phillips Samwell, is the Senior Trade Policy Analyst at the Ministry of Trade, who spearheads the ministry's provision of business advice and support to the private sector. She is also responsible for the identification and promotion of opportunities for business in the local and foreign markets. She also conducts research and consults medium, small, and micro business operations to identify and determine the need for remedial actions. Ms. Phillips Samwell is the project coordinator responsible for the implementation of the Small Business Development Center. She is also responsible for the monitoring and evaluation in the establishment of new institutions and mechanisms, committees, technical working groups, etc., which interface with the public and private sectors on varying issues arising from regional and international business development, building synergies and working relationships with other governments and non-government agencies. She provides support to fellow technical officers in the area of Montreal Protocol, climate change, CSME, trade and environment, labor and intellectual property, and industrial development, etc. Mrs. Phillips Samwell sits on many committees as well as represents Antigua and Barbuda at various national, regional, and international meetings, workshops, seminars, webinars, and working groups on matters relating to trade and business. Ms. Phillips, I welcome you this evening, and I say if you would like to share a few words, you can do so as this time.
A pleasant good afternoon or good evening to everyone. Just wishing everyone good success and thanks for their hard work, working towards building our economy as well as enlightening us in terms of small business development in Antigua and Barbuda. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being here with us tonight. We're looking forward to hearing from you and for your, assessment of our finalists this evening. With us next is Dr. Renee Phillips, a vibrant, innovative. So let me take one quick second. There is, yes, thank you so much for that. So our next judge for this evening is Dr. Renee Phillips, a vibrant, innovative, and enthusiastic individual who studied across many disciplines. She is currently managing director and founder of Business Cove Learning Academy, which provides tutorial for individuals of all ages in the business disciplines, mathematics, entrepreneurship, and visual arts. Dr. Phillips facilitates external programs on the island of Antigua, inclusive of teaching, training, development, ICT Innovative, Gilbert Agricultural Research and Development Center, which is GARD, and the Youth Empowerment Educational Program. Yep. She is the co-founder of a foundation in Antigua. I want to say it's DEFKI. I hope I'm saying that correctly. A nonprofit organization established to assist with financial aids for individuals who struggle with different financial needs. In addition, Dr. Phillips is also a member of the National Society of Leadership Organization for the Walden Chapter, a nonprofit organization that assists in preparing leaders for social change across the globe. Dr. Phillips is obsessed with leveling the educational playing field. She helps her clients find a healthy perception of themselves, strengthening their ability so that they can achieve successful careers. Her educational background includes a doctorate in business administration from the Walden University and an executive master's in business administration from the University of the West Indies, Cave Hill School of Business in Barbados. She has a Bachelor's of Science in Management from the University of Tampa, Florida, a diploma in Financial Planning and Services from the Ashworth University, and a diploma in Education from the University of the West Indies, Cave Hill, Barbados. Dr. Phillips, thank you so much for being here with us, and you are welcome to say a few words as well.
Thank you. Just wanted to encourage the participants not only to have a safe delivery, but to have fun and, be passionate about what it is that they are presenting this evening. I'm excited for them, and thanks for having me this evening.
Thank you so much for joining us, Dr. Phillips, and we look forward to getting your feedback from all of the finalists this evening. So finalists, it is almost your time, and I'm hopeful that you are ready to go and you're ready to present your fantastic businesses here for us. A word especially that our founder from the EWC Caribbean likes to say, everyone is already a winner. You should already count yourself blessed to be in this space. You are already talented and gifted. We saw value in what you are offering. And so I wish you all much success as you enter into your pitch. Please enjoy yourself, enjoy this moment. And without any further ado, now we will be going into the judging criteria. And so I will go quickly through what the judges will be looking for this evening from you as a finalist. And once you have some deeper understanding of that, then we will go straight into the pitch presentations. So finalists, this is for you. The judges for this evening will be looking at the 4 P's. These 4 P's are the person, the product, the potential, and the predictability. Thank you. So again, the 4 P's are products, people, potential, and predictability. You'll be scored from 1 to 5 for each of these categories. Under the concept of product, what they are looking for is, are they an imitator or an innovator? How new, how fresh is this concept? Under people, we'll be looking at the experience and reputation of you as a founder, the team that you put together, and other aspects of you as an individual and your team. Under potential, we've been looking mainly at how big can this opportunity be? How can this grow? Is this scalable? Is this business able to last the test of time? And so we'll be grading on that as well. And the last will be predictability. So for companies that have begun monetizing their business or have the potential of monetizing their business, are there recurring revenues or a formula for them to start to make money? And how well do we think that this business predictably will be successful in the future? So these are the 4 P's. Again, they are product, people, potential, and predictability. And we will be looking at them at a scale from 1 being the lowest and 5 being the highest on each of these. Tomorrow, as we've mentioned to you in our prep session, you'll hear the results of tonight's, the results of the pitch from tonight will be shared tomorrow evening when we have our final batch of finalists. So today we will not be sharing who your scores or who is ranked at any level. So once we've finalized all the pitches between today and tomorrow, then you will get your results. So again, we are ready to get started. So I'm hopeful that you are ready, because we are absolutely ready to hear your pitch presentations. So first up this evening, I will begin with our first finalist. And let me just grab your name really quickly. And you can begin setting up, you can unmute, start sharing your screen. And once you are ready, then we will begin the time. We will begin the time, and it seems that I may have forgotten one of our judges. So while we're finding the first finalist, let's introduce Judge Yearwood. And Judge Yearwood, if you can do me the honors of introducing yourself and sharing a few words about yourself before we get started.
Thank you. I was happy to be missed. I'm quite happy. For those, my name is Jacqueline Yearwood. I am the Director of Enterprise Development at the Antigua and Barbuda Investment Authority. I have years of experience in, I've originally started out in trade, and which I specialized in areas of telecommunications, WTO, and generally any and everything that has come under the trade portfolio. After that, I have moved on into the, I had moved on to the developmental aspects, especially with business development. And now the task that I carry out at the Investment Authority, I'm responsible for the whole issue of local business development. And I think that sums it up in a nutshell. I'm not one for very long introductions. But what I would like to say to those competing tonight, just the fact that you have reached this far and you have had the guts to get up and start, you have an idea and you have actually started to concretize it, you are already a winner. So just on that note alone, that should allow you to relax and breathe, and then you can begin your presentations, because we're here to help you with our critiques, if there are any. And don't look at it as we're judging. Just look at it that we are trying to help you in the process of reaching your goal even faster. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Judge Yearwood, and thank you for introducing yourself as well. I apologize again for missing you, even though you were happy to stay in the background. Thank you so much for contributing your time and being here with us this evening. And so we are ready for our finalists. We will be seeing five pitches this evening. And so without any further ado, our first finalist is Inflated Creations 268, founded by Jamila John. And so Jamila, I invite you to start sharing your screen. I will first make sure that we can see and hear you clearly. Once we can do so and you are ready, you let me know and we will begin the clock. So I can definitely see your screen loading. I can't see you as yet. So can you unmute yourself and say good night? Good night, Jamal.
Good night.
Good night. I can hear you clearly.
Can't see me?
Yes, I can see you. I can hear you. And I can see your screen. So with that, I turn it over to you. When you say ready, then the time will start. Over to you.
Okay, ready. Good evening, everyone. My name is Jamila John, and I am the owner and founder of Inflated Creations 268. Inflated Creations 268 offers a variety of balloon creations, from balloon mosaics, balloon stands, garlands, arches, gender reveal balloons, the whole works. Anything you can think about celebrating, we're here for it. These balloon creations are creative masterpieces that are perfect for any occasions you are throwing. The problem that I'm seeing in the industry now is creativity. The quality of the products are a bit bland and the cost is high. My solution for these problems is to provide quality creations, that is by using quality products, and hitting the creative mark. For example, if you see the picture on the screen, this was the inspiration, and on the right there is the final product that I produced for the client. This way, I believe if I produce quality and creative products, the client will be more keen, I should say, to paying once they see that the quality matches what they're getting. This is my revenue model. So I believe if I'm able to get 2 to 3 jobs per day, and let's say we're going to buy the cheapest thing that I offer, which is $45, I believe at the end of the year, I would be able to make $45,000, with a profit being $20,000 and the other $25,000 going back into the business. And that is me.
Hi, Jamila.
Yes, miss.
Yes. Are you finished? Just
Yes,
quickly.
I am.
Yes. Okay. So thank you so much for your presentation. Right now, I will invite the judges to ask their questions so that they can get further information from you. And so let's start with Judge Gamble. Judge Gamble, over to you with your questions.
Good night. Yes, I just had a question about the finances, regarding finances. I'm not understanding the 1,000.
Okay.
Can you
Okay. Should I
clarify
share
that?
it again?
I'm not understanding the 1,000 on the financial page. Can you
Okay,
explain
so
it a bit more? Thanks.
so the 1,000 persons would roughly cover, let's say, 1,000 customers, right? And I would get them, let's say, 2 to 3 customers per day. So every single day of the year. So for 365 days, I would roughly get 2 to 3 customers. And if for the 365 days, those 2 to 3 customers purchase the cheapest thing that I offer, which is $45. At the end of the year, I should make $45,000 roughly.
All right, thank you. Jamila, also, you take any days off or?
Okay, so it is not a full-time job. I actually do it part-time. So I would say no. I take my clients where I can get them.
Okay, thank you. You seem a bit nervous, but
I
I
am.
think you finished off well. All right, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge Gamble, sorry. Thank you so much for your questions. Over to Judge Dr. Phillips. You are up. Over to you.
Hi, Jamila. I have a few questions, sad to say. I think I missed the overall mission of the business. I see that you mentioned that the problem is lack of creativity in terms of the product and the produce. What is your proposal in terms of being different from your competitors? Because the image that you displayed, that I know is very common at present. And so in terms of being different and attacking that angle, creative, for me personally, I would like to see, something that is abnormal or unique or novel. So that's my first question. What is the mission behind the business if it gets up and it start getting that traction from clients?
Okay. I did not realize that it was that common, honestly. When I started, to me, at the time that I started, it wasn't something I was seeing here in Antigua. What I would off the top of my head, I am not sure in terms of creativity off the top of my head. I thought the pieces that I offer were actually creative.
Okay, thanks for that response. Just because I'm an artist myself, I would suggest that you try to collaborate maybe with an artist, because I was also going to ask, when the business start taking off, when clients start knocking on your door, you said you do it at part-time at present, but when it start taking off, and if you were to go to the next level and the business is up for growth, do you have or have you considered a team? Have you considered working with a team? And part of your team, would you consider having a artist or a creative person on board to assist you with that area?
Yes. The goal, I should say, for my business is to want it to be a top-notch one-stop shop where you can get all your balloon needs, balloon creations, event decor, set up, the whole 9 yards. So being that I hope for it to expand to that level, yes, I will be, well, hopefully employing a team and a creative director as well.
Okay, my last question. Do you plan, now you have it part-time, do you plan on taking it on full-time? And if so, how would you ensure standard in terms of quality in the production? Because you're telling me that you want to do top, top production in terms of you want to be very competitive in your industry. So how do you have any plans? These are just questions, as I said, that would help you, in growing the business. So what plans do you have, or have you considered that to maintain standard in terms of quality standard in your business?
Okay, so presently, to maintain my standards at the level that I'm at now, I make sure to only purchase quality balloons to do my creations. That's at the level that I am now. What I plan to introduce is customization of my balloons, so you can get it to say happy birthday, Stacy, with love from mom, XYZ, whatever you like it to do. There is a lot of plans, honestly, in the making. It is just that at this point, everything can't be done right now. So there are steps and there are big plans.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Jess Phillips. And so we go to our next judge, Judge Yearwood. Over to you with your questions.
Jamila, just one question. Tell me about your experience and knowledge. Where do you get your training? And do you have anyone else working with you? And what level of experience and knowledge you bring to the table?
Okay, so honestly, I am self-taught. Like persons would bring their vision to me and I will figure out how to make it. If I have to watch a few YouTube videos or do a bit of researching, I'll do it and get the job done. Most of the work that I produced for the first time, I honestly did not know what I was doing. However, I went to practice in order to get the job where I wanted to be. In terms of who, my mom helps me at times. My mom, my little brother, and friends. They chip in when they're available. But majority of it, I do by myself. I would say that I have a bit of experience. I've been at it for about 2 years now. So I'm still learning. However, there hasn't been a challenge that I have been given so far that I wasn't willing to attack full force.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much, Judge Yearwood. And I go to our final judge, Judge Phillips Samwell. Over to you.
Hi, Jamila. How are you doing?
I'm good.
I know you said that, well, looking at your bio or creation, Inflated Creation came out 2020. So it would be said that it came out of the pandemic, right?
Yeah.
In terms of that, how many clients would you say you would have serviced during that period, 2022 to this period, 2022? What's your baseline? You don't have to have an exact figure, just your baseline.
Okay, I would say that I have done like over 100, maybe 120 so far. Yeah.
Okay. did you factor in, since you did not have a cost sheet or anything, did you factor in delivery into your costing, since you said that the least profit you would make is $20? So is that $20 including delivery in terms of profit that you would have made?
Okay, no. The delivery is optional. So if they want delivery, they would have to pay an extra fee of $10 to $20, depending on their location.
Okay.
If it's like a setup, sorry. If it's like a setup,
okay.
If it's like a setup, so like you want me to come to the venue and set it up for you, the delivery fee is included in that one.
Okay. So you said you did at least what? Three creations per day. You will look at 3 creations. No, that is your estimated.
Yeah. So
that's
if I believe with better marketing, if I'm supposed to get at least 2 to 3 jobs per day, that is how much I'll be able to make in a year.
Okay, and that would be done on your part-time basis and not working full-time. Okay.
Yeah.
You said also that the problem you see is creativity. So how competitive is your pricing as opposed to your competitors? Did you do a comparison of your competitors to get a baseline for your business?
When I started, yes. I think my prices are, I wouldn't say, they might be a bit cheaper in some aspects, depending on what you're planning to get, I would say.
Okay. All right. Thanks much.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much, Jamila. You did a fantastic job, and please stick around. As you know, you will not hear your results this evening, but congratulations on your presentation and much success to you on your business as you continue to develop and grow. As you said, you are resilient and continue to be so. Thank you so much for participating in Entrepreneurship World Cup Antigua. We will see you tomorrow evening when you get your results. Have a great evening.
You too.
You're welcome. So our next finalist for this evening is Red Square Sweet Shop, founded by Saran King. So, Ms. King, I invite you to share your screen, start to get yourself set up to present your business to our panel of judges this evening. So, likewise, you will also have 3 minutes to present your business concept to us this evening. You will settle in, start sharing your screen and your presentation. We'll confirm that we can see and hear you. And once you are ready, then your time will begin. So please go ahead and start sharing your screen.
All right. I can start now.
I can see you, I can hear you, but your screen is still showing your slides at the bottom. Would you want to go full screen? You'll have to hit present.
Oh.
There you go.
All right.
Yes, that is perfect. So over to you. Once you are ready, you say ready and I will start the clock.
All right, I'm ready.
Go ahead.
Every year, 15 million people between the ages of 39 and 69 years die prematurely worldwide from a non-communicable disease, NCD, like blood pressure, high blood pressure, diabetes, heart disease, to name a few. That is a staggering 41 million deaths every year. Most of these deaths are due to poor and unhealthy lifestyle habits like tobacco smoking, inactivity, unsafe consumptions of alcohol, and unhealthy eating habits. By 2030, the global economic cost for NCDs is projected to be $47 trillion. In the past decades, Antigua and Barbuda, like the rest of the world, has seen an increase in obesity, which is a major contributor of many health conditions. Hi, I'm Saren King from Red Square Sweatshop. Co-owner, I am a physician, a health coach, and an author. Red Square Sweatshop is a health and wellness business committed to providing inclusive healthcare education, goods, and services to improve the health and wellness of individuals. With our 3-tier program, 1, educate the population of health conditions and the importance of improving one's health, physical, mental, and spiritual. 2, empower persons so they can take their power back and take control of their health and improve their quality of life. And 3, equip them with the tools, resources, and guidance to take their health to the next level through our health and wellness courses and packages accessible at one's convenience and worldwide. With your expertise, technical support, and advice, coupled with our knowledge and experience, we would be able to expand our business and assist more persons locally, regionally, and internationally, and help persons take charge of their health for improved quality of life, helping in reducing premature deaths, reduce health treatment costs, and improve the health and wellness of our community. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your presentation and such a congratulations on your pitch. And so without further ado, we have our judges. So judges, let's start with Judge Yearwood. Judge Yearwood, over to you with your questions.
I'm having a little technical difficulty at the moment. Could you go on one of the other judges, please? Thank you.
Sure. So we will then switch to Dr. Phillips. So Dr. Phillips, please, over to you with your questions.
Hi, Saren.
Hi.
I just wanted to find out, have you started the business venture as yet?
So our business is registered. It has been legally registered and operating since 2015. Due to the pandemic, we were forced to close down abruptly. So between 2020 and we reopened 2021, June 2021. But during that time, we did a lot of consultations, free courses, and from my personal experience as well in the healthcare, system, a lot of persons have been struggling on their health journey. And so we kind of have to change up the way we do things because it had severely affected our business. And so we see a need to do something a little different so that we can reach a more international market, because before the pandemic, we were only restricted to doing things in Antigua. But since the pandemic, because of the pandemic, we were able to reach persons outside of Antigua as well. So it's in the beginning stages in terms of execution, but I have been doing it on a small scale. And so I just need the help, the guidance to take it to the next level, to expand more on it.
Okay, so you said that you reopened last year,
Yeah.
Which is understandable. So how would you say that the market has responded in terms of your clientele now after the pandemic and before the pandemic? Because you said you had a different approach initially. And so now you've switched your approach based on your customers' demand or feedback. So how would you say the comparison is?
Well, for me, I find that a lot of persons are lacking in terms of information and education. So in addition to the goods and the services that we offer, we want to include having courses, which would be video content, and written content that persons can access anywhere in the world on a platform. And if they want to get some information on high blood pressure, they want to purchase a package, a 14-day package on exercising, ab workout, that they would be able to do that, and we would not have to be physically present to execute the program, the course.
Okay. I see you didn't share with us revenue, which is your financial. So I think that's where my questions are leading up to. In terms of cost, and you mentioned packages, and so I'm assuming, or I'm going to assume that although persons could get individual service, that they could also get services that are packaged. And how would you say, in terms of sustainability for the business, how do you see that working out? You know, in terms of your cost and the projected clientele, the projected traffic that your business might be getting, how would you say that could work out? Because you didn't present, you know, financial guide for us. So I'm just trying to see if you did that calculation, or if you have considered that part of it.
Yes, we have considered it. As I said, prior to the pandemic, we would have averaged about 20 clients that would be doing in-person exercises and health consultations. But since the pandemic, we've realized that there's a whole door open to reaching more international, regional and international clientele. And one of the great things is that everyone needs to stay healthy. And there's so much in healthcare that we can teach, that we can show, that we can educate persons on. So the information is endless in terms of what we can share. And the courses is actually in the beginning stages. It's more, well, it is, I have executed some courses, but on a small scale, basically to see the feedback persons gave me. And I realized that a lot of the information that I share, that I take for granted that everyone knows, that people really do not know, and persons are looking for guidance. The same way I'm looking for guidance in terms of building my business, persons are looking for guidance in terms of their health, on their health journey. And so it is a health and wellness business. And so it's all about improving, educating, empowering persons on how they can improve their overall health, physical, mental, and spiritual.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Phillips. And so over to our next judge, Judge Gamble. So over to you with your questions. Judge Gamble, are you with us?
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yes,
Yes,
no problem.
I have a few questions. Well, I was thinking about the name of the product that you have. It says sweatshop. All right. So when I see the word sweatshop, I think the emphasis seems to be more on the physical. It almost sounded like a gym. All right. So can you expand on where you chose that name?
Okay, so we have been operating since 2015. And so when we started, the focus was mostly physical. That's where the name came about, because we were offering fitness, group and individual fitness classes in person, only in person. We never did anything online until the pandemic. Then the pandemic hit and we were like, oh shoots, we don't have any clients, everything is closed down. And so the approach was changed since the pandemic. So the name has not changed. So I don't know if we have to change it or we'll just be registered as one name and then known as trade as a different name. But it's just the name that we registered with initially because the focus was mostly physical at the time. But since the pandemic, it has really opened our eyes in terms of what persons need. And it's more than just physical needs that persons have, because we are more than just a physical being. We do have we have a mental well-being and we have a spiritual well-being as well that needs to be taken into consideration when we are dealing with individuals.
Okay.
And their health.
And that one other question, in terms of, you're saying that you're looking to expand the product offering.
Mhm.
So you're going into courses and videos. Do you have any idea of the approach that you'll be taking? Are you creating the courses? Do you have other persons that help in terms of the videos and the courses?
All right, so it is a multifaceted approach with healthcare providers. So anyone who gives care to anybody else, physical, mental, or spiritual, we are willing to partner. And I have partnered with other healthcare providers with offering in-person courses and online courses as well. So it wouldn't be just me and my business partner, but any healthcare provider who can bring value to the courses in order to create them.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Judge Gamble. And to our final judge, Judge Yearwood, over to you with your questions.
I'm not the final judge. Remember, Nassel Samwell is there. Sarah, a few questions. Okay, what is your client base at the moment? You said your client base just before you shut down was about 20. But you want to say 20 per year, per month, per week?
Per month, sorry.
Per month?
That's 20 per month.
Yes.
Yes.
And what is it now?
Probably average around 5 or 6 because we had that big break.
Okay.
It has been extremely difficult to get persons back on board. A lot of persons, they lost their jobs, so it was more an economic issue. So we're just trying to build back up our clientele again.
Okay, then. Other question is, what is the average cost of any one of your services? What is the average cost of your services?
Okay, so we have a daily rate, a weekly rate, and a monthly rate, depending on what it is that you want.
And what are those costs like?
So the daily rate is $20. The weekly rate is $30, and the monthly rate is $100. But this is for in-person and online fitness classes. Okay. And then we have health and wellness products that vary from $25 up to $100.
Okay. Just my two last questions. First thing, what is the average age of your customers?
Between mid-20s to about mid-50s. And we've had a couple who are in their 70s, but on average, mid to late 20s to about mid-50s.
Okay then. Since it's a health and wellness, is it a case that, are you seeing your clientele? Is your clientele as a case of just wanting to correct a lifestyle, or they're coming with you because I know you're a practitioner, they're coming with you with like diseases or major issues?
Well, it's a combination of both. Some persons, they want to improve their health in terms, maybe they are already diagnosed with high blood pressure or diabetes and they're trying to control it. And then there are other persons who they don't have any underlying condition and they don't want to get any underlying condition. So they're trying to prevent it. through dieting to exercise, but they are not sure what to do. And so they come for advice. So there are consultations and there are actual exercise programs as well that we offer.
My last question, what makes you different? Because let's face it, we're now in the era where everybody's offering some sort of health something. Okay, what makes you different and what makes you stand out?
So the approach is going to be more a holistic approach where it's not just the physical, even though that's how we started out, but we have transitioned into really looking at the individual as a whole and looking at their mental health and their spiritual health and combining really traditional ancestral medicine with conventional evidence-based medicine and other practices that healthcare and care providers give. So we're not just a business for persons to come and lose weight. If you want to lose weight, that's fine. But also to educate the person on health conditions and on the importance of improving their health, and also guiding them and educating them as well. Big emphasis on educating them of how important that is, you know, if you don't take care of your health and the repercussions of that.
All right, Judge Yearwood, was that your final question?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. And so, correct, our next judge then is Judge Samwell. So over to you, Judge Samwell, with your final question.
Hi, Saran.
Good
What
night.
to you is the next level? You said you want to go towards the next level. What is the next level for Red Square Sweatshop?
We're like officially launching the courses on a larger scale and not just small scale, which is what I'm doing now.
Okay. You said you said financial was part of constraint for persons accessing your product or services. Are there any other constraints you think that people would have in terms of accessing those products and services? What are some of the other constraints you think would prevent people from accessing the business? And how do you think you can make a difference?
Well, there are different constraints apart from financial. I think a lot of it has to do with the mindset of the person. So for instance, what I mean by that, like someone I see, you know I have a lot of clients who have underlying conditions, for instance, and they feel as if, well, they are trapped in this diagnosis and they have to take medication forever, and they don't need to be checking their blood pressures if they're hypertensive, and they're just doomed forever. And so my approach is really to educate them on that even if you have an underlying condition, my focus is really on preventing things, preventing complications of underlying conditions and improving the quality of life. Because you can live a long life, but then you're suffering. The quality of your life may be very poor. And I'll give an example. Just last week, someone who I graduated with, 41 years of age, died from complication of diabetes, which is was totally preventable. And so when persons are educated more on their conditions or different conditions or just on lifestyle changes, it will change their perspective when it comes to health. So someone may be overweight and they're like, well, this is the way I am. And they do nothing. They try that, well, this is the way I am. I have high blood pressure. So really changing, not really changing, but showing persons a different perspective when it comes to health and educating them on how they can approach their health, no matter whatever the health condition they may have or may not have. And so you don't have to feel trapped in your body. You don't have to feel trapped in a diagnosis because you've been diagnosed with such a thing. So that's really another thing that I find that, you know, persons, they just won't try because they think they're trapped in this diagnosis or they're trapped in a particular box.
All right, thank you. That's it for me.
Thank you so much, Sharon, and congratulations on presenting and answering questions about your business. I wish you much success as you continue your journey as well. As you know, the results will not be this evening, but you are welcome to stay with us and see your fellow contestants present their business and their finalists. So next up this evening, we have our next finalist is Miss Jennifer Maynard of Jamas. And I'm hopeful that I did justice to your beautiful name of your business. Please begin to share your screen. Likewise to all the other finalists, you will have 3 minutes to present your business. You will also have the opportunity to then answer the judges' questions. Once you are ready, that we can see you and we can hear you, you will then start the clock when you are ready. So please let me know when you're ready. You can also make your presentation full screen if you choose to, or if you need to share it this way. So the first, you can click on the top, it says from the beginning. And so if you want to go full screen, you can click.
Yeah.
Yes. There
Yes,
we go.
you did get the name right.
Oh, perfect. Thank you so much. And so Jennifer, just the moment you say that you're ready, the clock will begin. Much success to you as you present your business.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Jennifer Maynard, founder of Jamas, a sustainable green startup producing a novel superfood called microgreens for marketing to persons making dietary lifestyle changes. According to the National NCD's department, the Non-Communicable Diseases Department in Antigua and Barbuda, annual deaths from NCDs have trended upwards from 79.8% to 84.4% over a period from 2000 to 2019. An important NCD risk factor is an unhealthy diet with low consumption of vegetables and fruits and a high consumption of meat, refined sugars and starches. The personal lifestyle changes required to achieve NCD risk reduction and prevention can be powered by adoption of microgreens as part of the daily diet. So I'm giving accessibility, availability, and affordability. Microgreens, what are they? They're the seedlings of edible plants, including greens such as lettuce and spinach, spices such as fenugreek and mustard, herbs and seasonings such as sorrel, chive, basil, mint, and onion, as well as vegetables and fruits like cabbage and carrot, and all the various types of melons. Though microgreens are small and fast-growing, they pack a heavy nutritional punch by supplying 40 times more vitamins, antioxidants, and phytonutrients than the equivalent weight of their full-grown counterparts. Currently, very little is grown in Antigua, and it's mainly used for garnish and culinary artistry in high-end restaurants. By using initially a business to customer model, and by targeting 30% of our total accessible market of about 45,000 people, which gives us 60,000 customers, and by meeting a demand of about 100 grams per customer per week for 52 weeks at a lower price than our competitor, our company can generate $12 million annually. Our microgreens are produced in a greenhouse using recycled garden waste, and we produce without pesticides, using natural gas and fertilizer. Our team is constituted to bring expertise in horticulture, agronomy, marketing, and health and nutrition to the company. And we ask you to give the people of Antigua and Barbuda and give us an opportunity to explore this valuable, sustainable, lucrative opportunity by assisting us with automation of our watering and cooling systems. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Jennifer. Such a great presentation. And so we will start our judges' questions with Judge Gamble. So over to you, Judge Gamble, with the first set of questions.
Hello.
Hear me?
Okay.
Yes, we can hear you now. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Well done, Jennifer.
Yes.
That's a good presentation. I have a few questions. In terms of the market in Antigua, it's a very unique product that you're bringing to the market.
I am hardly hearing. Were you hearing me?
Yes, are you hearing me? No? You hear me clear?
Okay, but I'm hardly hearing you.
Okay. I was saying that in terms of the market that you're marketing to, is you're bringing a unique product to the market, right?
Yeah.
So what type of resources have you allocated towards marketing? Because I believe it will be something that you have to invest a lot in because of, you know, the uniqueness of the product. So you have to educate the public. So how much of your earnings have you allocated to marketing?
I recognize the point you're making, and I have not done a full assessment of the cost of marketing, the full cost of marketing, but I recognize that I will have to do samples, distribution of samples. I'll have to spend money on distribution of samples, on preparing instructions on how to use, preparing recipes, going to various sort of focus group types and various groupings like gyms and lifestyle coaches, like even Saran, and presenting training. I have to put in a request to a marketing person, a framework for the cost of marketing, but I'm estimating marketing will at least be 1/3 of the cost of production.
Okay, thank you. That's one other question. In terms of, well, I just realized that both you and Saran have, you know, your team has a dietitian, and Saran's team has a dietitian as well. All right.
Yes.
So at one point I was going to recommend probably some form of collaboration, but now it seems that you may be having some competition. What role is the dietitian playing in your company?
The dietitian is actually part of advising and guiding on the marketing, because the dietitian understands how people eat, what they should be eating. In fact, in a recent conversation, the dietitian said that a large potential of the customers is likely to be persons who are in cancer recovery, because from her experience, they're the ones that are anxious to make dietary changes. So I don't see Saran actually being a competition. I see Saran's program being complementary, because she'll be educating and I'll be providing some of the products that she will need for her empowered, educated persons.
Okay, thank you for clarifying. And one last point in terms of the numbers. You had 45,000 for the population. Is that correct?
Yeah, for the total accessible market.
Mm-hmm. And then you said you went down to 16,000 and something for the customers.
Yeah. I'm saying that of the 45,000 persons who would be concerning themselves with shopping and for food and that type of thing, and any kind of food, that about 35% of that number would be the ones that would account for people like vegans, vegetarians, people under doctor's orders, people under lifestyle coach counseling, people who have made decisions to change their eating habits spontaneously, people who are responding to issues of sustainable development goals and making changes, and also persons who have cultural and religious reasons for eating as healthily as possible. Since COVID, well, before COVID, we would have had Rastafari, vegans, vegetarians. We have some Muslims, some Hindus in our community. But since COVID, persons have begun to take food more seriously as an anti-COVID measure, and there's been an increase in interest in eating food as a medicine. So it is that 16,000 makes up that.
Okay. All right. That's it for me. Thank you, Jennifer.
Hello?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Judge Gamble. And so we go to our next judge, Judge Dr. Phillips. Over to you with your questions for this evening.
Good evening, Jennifer.
Good evening.
I see you're marketing something that my doctor recommends. So
customer number one. Well, no, not number one. Maybe number 41.
Okay. Great. Let me just say as the previous judge said, your product is somewhat different to what we have here. My question, though, is you're already up and running, correct?
I have done some trials and I have done some distribution,
okay,
but I have had the challenge of the greenhouse ventilation and cooling. So I am working on fixing that so that I can get up to 100% production.
Okay.
And so I have, in fact, persons have in fact tried some of my microgreens. The thing is, though, that there are various mixes that are going to be required, because there are persons who want it for flavor, persons who want it for specific recommendations. So I'm fine-tuning what the mixes are. But yes, I have started to produce.
Okay. In your presentation, I think you said that your business could generate 12 million annually. correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, that if 16,000 people take purchase 3.5 ounces every week, because it's not a commodity that you can stock up. It has a short life cycle. If 16,000 people purchase about 3.5 ounces every week.
And what would be the cost for the 3.5 ounce every?
It's about $40.
Because I saw on your slide you had 35, so I'm trying to copy my calculations.
Excuse me, no, that's what I'm trying to remember. Have it on my 35 for the 100 grams or 3.5 ounces. It's approximately $10 to $12 per ounce, and the competitors are 40 and over, and they are only targeting culinary and artistry and garnish. They are not promoting the healthy aspects of it.
Okay, so next question would be, you are targeting 16,000, but what if your client base expand? How equipped is your team to, because I see you have a strong team, but I don't see a production team. I see a team of advisors, I see a team of nutritionists, but the production area, how do you plan on satisfying that area of the business? Because the production, although you could target the 16,000, the production is important. So what's your plan for the production aspect of the business?
That would require expansion of the greenhouse, the existing greenhouse, and it would require employment of field technicians. I have, through my previous work, I am aware of persons who work in the agriculture sector for whom growing seedlings is a part of their skill. And so I would have to look at employing persons from out of that pool.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Judge Phillips, for your question. So over to our next judge, Judge Samwell. Please, I invite you to share your questions with our finalists.
Good night, Ms. Maynard. How are you doing?
Good night, Mrs. Samwell. Good to see you. I'm fine, thank you.
Okay.
Good to hear you.
Yes. What is the scale of production you're doing currently?
Pardon me?
What the scale of production are you currently doing? What the scale of production are you currently doing?
Not very much, because the heat issue prevented me. I have the capacity for 100 trays, and a tray, depending on the variety, is anywhere from 12 to 18 ounces per tray. So I have that capacity, and it is what, 100, it's 12, it's a pound, 100 pounds. It's about, so far I have 200 pounds per month capacity, but expanding within the greenhouse is not difficult, because the fact that I'm using the natural light and it's totally clear greenhouse, and I'm using the sun, I can add another layer or two to increase the number of trays that I use.
Judge Samwell, did you have any other questions? In the meantime, we can have Judge Yearwood with your questions.
Oh, Ms. Maynard, how are you this evening?
Quite well, thank you, Ms. Yearwood.
Just a quick question. I understand, what is your turnover? Because you know, if you're farming, a crop may take 3 months or whatever. What is your turnover time for a batch of seedlings, as we say, being ready to be harvested?
Depending on the variety that the mix is, it can be anywhere from 5 days to 14 days.
Okay.
It's a very, very short crop.
Very short. Okay. Now, I'd like you, in this case now, with your greenhouse structure, the one that you have now, what are you looking at in your ability? How much of the market can you supply now? And are you able to have a constant supply, or do you have to phase it?
Okay, once I can overcome the heating and ventilation challenge, and the past 6 to 8 months has been unseasonably hot, so it has been affecting the greenhouse. Once that challenge is covered, I can do continuous production, because once I master the hotter months, the cooler months are no challenge.
Okay, that was my question. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge Yearwood. And I'm just circling back quickly to Judge Samwell. If you had any other question, I didn't hear from you, if you were finished with your questions. All right. With that, thank you, Ms. Jennifer. Thank you so much for your presentation and for your agricultural business. I wish you much success. Likewise, to all the finalists this evening, you will hear in the coming days what your judging scores are, so those will not be shared this evening.
Thank you.
You're most welcome. Have a great evening. And so, this evening, we have come to our final finalist for this evening. Unfortunately, one of our finalists was not able to make it tonight, but he will be joining us tomorrow evening. And so we are inviting our final finalist for this evening, which is none other than West Indies Botanicals, founded by Nathaniel Williams. Nathaniel, I am inviting you to start sharing your screen. Please also turn on your camera and greet us this evening so that we know that we can hear you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Hope everyone is doing great. Give me just a moment to share my screen.
Absolutely.
Are you able to see my screen now?
It is loading, so yes, we will be able to see it shortly. Yes, we can see your screen. It's still also loading to full screen, I believe. So just give it one more minute as you settle in. Perfect. So I can see you, I can hear you, and we can see your screen. So you are all set. Much success to you on your presentation. When you are ready, stay ready, and your time will begin.
Okay. Ready. Good evening, everyone. My name is Nathaniel Williams, and I'm the CEO and founder of West Indies Botanicals. West Indies Botanicals is a startup Caribbean brand of health and wellness products that are made from indigenous Caribbean superfoods and are designed to improve nutritional health and immune system function. It is our greatest joy to provide these clean label products that are safe and effective to supercharge the health of our clients in these extreme times with high levels of communicable diseases and poor nutritional intake caused by changes in the global atmosphere. Poor nutrition and a weakened immune system leads to malnutrition, frequent infections, and even death. Although this is very alarming, West Indies Botanicals has a great solution available. The Caribbean is home to over 118 medicinal plant-based superfoods like sea moss, soursop, elderberry, and others that provide great nutritional and immune system support. Living and operating in this tropical region provides us with access to these highly valuable natural resources for converting them into more lucrative foods like gummies, soft gels, and others of high quality and standards. Our products have been shipped to over 5 countries, including Trinidad, Nigeria, USA, Canada, and the UK. We are currently seeking startup financing to increase productivity and meet this growing demand by investing in a sustainable agro-processing facility and by utilizing blockchain technology. Our main target customers include vegans, vegetarians, athletes, nutritionists, health food stores, wellness centers, and immunocompromised individuals. To reach most of these customers, we will use digital marketing, influencers, trade shows, and direct sales to build brand trust and awareness. Our competitive advantages include an online community with over 3,000 members, a secured e-commerce platform, FDA number for quality assurance on exports to the USA, and special agreement with our courier service provider for discounted shipping rate. The management team is led by myself as the CEO and founder, along with board members, Mrs. Marsha E. Stubbs, who is our product distributor based in the USA, and Mr. Wilfred Jarvis, who is our product development advisor. We are asking for 3.4 million Eastern Caribbean dollars in exchange for 15% of our company. With your support, we can make West Indies Botanicals a leading health and wellness Caribbean brand with a global impact. Would you be willing to invest? Thank you.
Thank you. Great presentation. And so we will go straight into our judges' questions. And let us begin again with Judge Gamble. Over to you with your questions, Judge.
Yes. Good job. Good presentation, Nathaniel.
Thank you.
Yes, I see a lot of thought has gone into what you are presenting. Well, one of the questions I had would have been the target market.
Yes.
Usually when we say a target, you usually narrow down. But I saw a number of segments of the market. So of the segments presented, which will be the main one? Of the segments of the market that you showed, which one would take a majority of your market?
Okay, so I have 5 segments here, and out of the 5, I would say the ones that would provide most revenue would be health food stores, wellness centers, and nutritionists, because they're in the position to provide these products on a retail level and purchase in bulk quantities to then further distribute to their audience. And a lot of these nutritionists and health food stores, they already have their own platform, which they provide marketing. So that reduces our marketing cost and also helps us to produce on a larger level to meet the demands.
Okay. All right. So you're trying to leverage using the what they already have existing.
That is correct.
Okay. All right. You said you're starting off with a platform, an online platform.
Yes, that is correct.
And you're
So,
looking to.
Sorry, go ahead.
You're looking to utilize blockchain technology.
That is correct.
Can you give some more details regarding what aspect of the blockchain technology you're looking to utilize?
Okay, I'd be happy to. So First, I want to talk about the online platform. We've been registered since 2021, from just a little after the start of the pandemic, and we have managed to grow an online community with over 3,000 members, in which we provide marketing tool, information on our products, and just answer questions from this audience. And they're also able to share their use of the product within the group, so that helps to build brand trust and awareness. Now, in terms of the blockchain technology, it really helps us to be able to send and receive decentralized payments. And our community, the online community, is made up of members from different parts of the world. You have people from the US, the UK, Australia. As I mentioned, we have been able to generate sales from these regions as well. Sometimes we are not able to do direct bank transfers because of restrictions and compliance, and even PayPal, we're not able to use that means as well because of these types of compliance restrictions. So blockchain technology helps us to leverage on being able to receive secured payments without the hiccups or the complications. Also, what is very important about it, well, what has been very helpful for us is that we are in the process of building our websites. We have two websites that are in progress. And recently we tried to pay our website developer using a bank transfer, and our website developer is based in Pakistan. That's a long story, but we could not get a successful transfer to pay for this service utilizing the freelancer that we met online. And the only way that we could have done so was by utilizing blockchain technology. So it helps us to be able to send and receive decentralized payments where there's no central authority controlling the use of the transfer mechanism. And we can also encrypt information on the blockchain. So that means we can protect information relating to customers as well as our business.
All right. So Nathaniel, in terms of getting paid in, right, I assume cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
Now, how would you deal with the volatility of cryptocurrency?
Okay, well, that's a great question. That's a great question, and I'm glad that you asked. So there's something known as stable coins, and we utilize USDT, that's USD Tether. And USD Tether is a coin, it does not fluctuate in value. It remains pegged to the value of the US dollar. Other cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, they fluctuate a lot, and it's very high risk to even purchase and hold these other coins. So by utilizing the stable coins, we're able to send money at the same rate and have our recipients receive the amount required to complete the job, or even receive the same amount that is required for our products and services without it dropping in value or anything like that.
So okay, thank you for clarifying that. So
Yes.
so you're using that as the payment method. Do you think that would restrict your market share locally? How would cryptocurrency affect your local market?
So in terms of the local market, we're able to do direct payments in cash, in person. We are working on the website, so if they want to pay via the website, they can do so as well. We also utilize other methods for receiving payments, whether it's local or international. So other international means of receiving payments would include MoneyGram or Western Union, but that is, it does come with its restrictions, so we tend to go towards the crypto before we utilize that. But when it comes to the local market, we can receive cash payments. So the crypto would not affect what's taking place here locally.
Okay. So eventually, possibly, because I believe some of the restrictions that you would encounter would be because you are a new business. So banks would generally like to see a track record of making revenue. So once you've shown them that you can make the revenue, do you think that you would lean less on the cryptocurrency and then use more traditional methods for transactions?
Yes, well, that is a good question. And I would say that not all customers would be willing to do the crypto, and we've lost sales because of not having a means by which we can receive payments. So far we've made a total of $15,967 in sales. And 60% of that has been from online sales and about 40 from local sales. When we just started the business and went into the digital marketing and attracting customers, we were able to utilize a local payment processor by the name of Fruby Pay. And that was really helping us to see, good startup numbers. However, that platform did encounter some restrictions with the banks. I think it may have something to do with them wanting to verify Fruby to make sure that they're not doing fraud or anything like that. So when that was taken away from us, it was restricted. Well, the sales pretty much dropped from that point, right? And we decided to utilize more of the MoneyGram, Western Union, but in using these, a lot of customers were not really willing to do so because a lot of scams do take place using these options. But recently we have found out other methods in place that we can utilize, whether we have a long track history with our banks or not, that would allow us to receive card payments. And one of them would be a platform by the name of Payoneer. So it's similar to MoneyGram, but it also helps us to receive secured payments. And it's the restrictions in terms of payments is not really about the track history with our banks and whatnot. It's more of what are the options available, because we live here in the Caribbean and sometimes it seems as if we are an underserved market when it comes to technology, when it comes to being able to do business across the borders. So it really took a lot of work for us to look at what are the different options, doing our research, and we can surely get into receiving regular card payments as soon as our websites are up and running and equipped with that service of utilizing Payoneer.
Okay, thank you very much, Nathaniel.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Judge Gamble. And so to our next judge, Judge Samwell, let's go over to you with your questions for this evening.
Hi, good day. Good night. Very good presentation. Very good presentation.
Good night. Thank you.
Okay, I see you have a overseas team. Members of your team part of the overseas delegation. So export is a big part of your market, right?
That is correct. And one of the members is based overseas. That's Miss Jane Stubb. The other is Mr. Wilfred Jarvis. He's based here in Antigua.
Okay. So how profitable has it been for you in terms of your exporting?
Okay, so that's a good question. So out of 15, let me just do the maths real quick. 15, 5, 6, 7 times 0.60. Okay. So out of the 15,967, we've been able to make sales of up to, well, let's say 60% of that. So the export is very profitable. And one of our unique selling propositions or value proposition is that with these superfoods that we offer, they're indigenous to the Caribbean. The Caribbean provides the right environment, the fertile soil and so much more that makes these superfoods thrive in their natural environment. You're talking about sea moss, salsa, elderberry, moringa, things of these natures. And outsourcing these superfoods from other places may come at a higher cost because of the fact that, their growth outside of the tropical region is scarce. So there's a huge demand in the overseas market for these products. And we have seen that as we're able to market ourselves better utilizing digital tools, we're not only capturing the local market, but a lot of these overseas markets are also interested. And I would say it has been profitable, but we do need the mechanisms in place to be able to receive payments more conveniently. We already have Miss Marsha Eacher's Stubbs in the US who helps us to reduce the cost of shipping directly to our customers. That is one of the downsides when it comes to exporting. If you don't have a middleman, it really turns off customers, because even though you have a great product, no one really wants to spend like money on getting bulk products. So we can be able to capture both the B2B market and the B2C market, and it could be very profitable for us.
What is your current mode of exportation? Air, freight? What?
Our current mode of exportation is via air, and we do have special accounts with our courier service providers that helps us to get discounted rates for shipping. So, and it's very fast and effective. It takes, the plane reaches into the US by the next day, and the products could reach to our base in 1 to 5 business days.
So what is the largest amount you would have exported at one time?
The largest amount? I'm sorry, can you repeat that question?
Yes, the largest amount of product you would have exported at one time.
Oh, the largest amount of products I would have exported at one time.
Would it have been bulk or? Yes. I'm just trying to figure out how cost effective is it for you, especially given the fact that the cost of weight, everything seems to have a factor in how much you add your pricing. So I'm trying to figure out what amount of products you're sending out at any given time and how profitable is it for you doing that.
Yes, I completely understand. So I would say the largest amount would be just around 25 to 30 pounds, approximately. I'm giving you an approximation. It's about 25 to 30 pounds of product at one time.
Okay, what's your biggest seller? Your product. What is the biggest seller?
The biggest seller right now?
Product. Yes.
Okay. So I would say the biggest seller right now is sea moss, and I actually have the demo for you here. Tell me if you can see this. This is the sea moss. This is dried, wildcrafted sea moss from the island of Antigua, and it's very, beneficial. I'll talk more on the health benefits, but it's harvested here locally. But we do network with suppliers from different Caribbean countries. Another big seller would be the sea moss gel, which is, a byproduct of the same sea moss. It's a big seller because right now, in terms of the health benefit, it helps a lot of people to cope with the different symptoms that come along with these communicable diseases. Sea moss is said to contain approximately 90% of the essential minerals and vitamins that your body needs. And there's a lot of rave on the internet around sea moss. A lot of people are doing research around sea moss and its uses and its benefits. It has minerals like iodine, which helps to nourish the thyroid. It is able to improve immune system health with all the different phytonutrients that it carries. It improves digestion because of the prebiotics that it has within it. And it also helps to improve your skin and your glow. And another key aspect of it, which I can't forget to mention, is sea moss is so nutrient dense that it tricks your body to believing that you're already full. So it has so much minerals in it. When you eat it, you feel as if you don't need to overeat. And this really helps. Well, it sells itself, I would say. So this is the main product and one of the best sellers.
All right. Thank you very much. That's all of my questions.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Judge. And to our next judge, Judge Yearwood, over to you with your final questions.
Hey, Nathaniel, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
My questions to you, when I said she jumped the gun, I'm concerned about your level of productions. I hear you're talking about a lot of exports. You've given us the figures. Well, you know, and what is it that you need? But are you producing, or do you purchase from others?
Okay. Well, we do both. And you know, with the main product being sea moss, it's very seasonal here. The wildcrafted form of it is very seasonal. So we have to rely on the ocean when the ocean is ready to get it from key locations. If not, the other options is importing it, and we have built relationships with other suppliers who, you know, practice consistency and also utilizes best practices to, you know, protect the environment in their production, as well as to provide a clean product. So we do network with other suppliers within the Caribbean region. When the sea moss is available locally, we are able to produce a couple thousands of pounds. So, you know, you could probably get maybe anywhere from 2,000 to 3,000 pounds of sea moss when it comes in wildcrafted. So at present, it's out of season, so the production here is very low. However, we can import at any point in time up to, you know, 1,500 pounds of the sea moss from our suppliers.
This is where you say when it is low, you have to import. Are there any plans, because given the figures that you have projected and what you're asking to be invested in the business, are there any plans for you to find a way to increase your ability to produce more locally?
Yes, that is correct. So we do intend to start a sea moss farm cultivation, in which we can grow the sea moss utilizing different means such as ropes in the ocean, and be able to harvest whenever you're growing. It's referred to as ocean farm sea moss. And when you do cultivate ocean farm sea moss, it takes maybe between 1 to 2.5 months to be ready. And you could harvest it within that time. So that will help us to have more, you know, consistent and available supplies at hand.
Which sales are better, your local sales or your export sales?
I would say at present, the export sales are better. One, because of the scarcity of these products in overseas countries. And, you know, whenever I do not have inventory, my suppliers in other countries, they're able to send to the product distributor, Mrs. Stubbs in the USA. So some of the times I don't have to touch any product. I can be very liquid, and that does help us to reap, you know, the benefits of the online aspects of it. So we've actually generated more sales online than we have locally. And it's not that we are shying away from the local market, because it's in our best interest to start an agro-processing facility here locally. The only issue is that some of these superfoods, they grow in abundance in other countries compared to here locally on Ireland. And, you know, we still need to have more of the right tools in place to be able to amp up the production here locally in Antigua.
Besides CMOS, what else? I know of the products you'd like to offer. Besides CMOS, what else are you producing at the moment?
Okay, so besides the CMOS, we do market, well, let's look at the two aspects of what we're offering. We're focused towards immune system health and nutritional health, okay? So on the nutritional aspect of it, we have CMOS, which we offer, but we do offer other things that are high in phytonutrients like moringa. So CMOS and moringa would be the two main products on the nutritional aspect. but on the immune system side of things, there's so much. You have elderberry, you have vitamin C. Ace roller cherry is a locally grown, it's also known as West Indies cherry. It grows locally here and throughout the Caribbean, and it's one of the highest form of vitamin C. So we have that. We also have things that we're looking to offer, such as broccoli sprouts. Sulforaphane is a component of the broccoli sprouts, which helps to boost the immune system. And it's very effective against conditions such as cancer and other immune conditions. So those would be the other products on the immune system and the nutritional aspects that we intend to offer.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you as well.
Thank you, Judge. And to our final judge for this evening, Dr. Phillips, over to you with your questions.
Hi, Nathaniel.
Hi, Dr. Phillips, how are you?
I'm good. Thanks for the presentation. Very well put together.
Thank you.
Your current revenue inflow, you stated, was approximately, if we were to round it up, 16,000. How long did it take you to generate that amount?
Okay, so I would say this is what we're in 2022. For the year, we've generated about 3,000. So last year we generated last year sales was 12,967, and this year is about 3,000 so far.
Okay, thanks. So what is your targeted financial goal in terms of what is it that you are looking to reap if you were to get the business up and running? What is your target financial goal?
Okay.
How much do you
sales or in terms of
revenue? Yeah, in terms of revenue.
Okay, so once we receive the financing to invest and increase production, we aim to sell up to 1,500 units by year 3 or next year. And that should generate us an estimated $134,000 in sales. Just for year 3, but it should be higher with increased marketing and as the business continues to grow.
What's the average cost of your product, if I may ask?
Yeah, of course.
Because you have different, yeah.
Okay, no, sure. So the main product, as mentioned, is the sea moss, the dry sea moss. And the cost to produce this is, so it's $40.65 to produce 1 pound of the sea moss. And it's sold at $90. And for a jar of the sea moss gel, it's $15 to produce, and it's sold at $35.
And okay, so you want to sell at least 1,500 units? 1,500 units.
Yeah, we estimate that we could sell up to 1,500 units.
And that will maximize your production, because I remember you've been asked about how equipped are you to satisfy your growing demand. What if your product takes off and you have a growing local market and a growing overseas market? How equipped are you to satisfy that market, given that you have your supply chain it seems very expanded?
Okay, so that's a good point. I would say 1,500 is not close to satisfy the market size, but it is a start. And I want it to be as realistic as possible with the numbers. Maybe 1,500 could probably wet our feet in the market, but the total market size would be 303 million end users. I know it sounds like a large number, but it's 303 million is 80% of the USA and the Caribbean population combined. So the USA and the Caribbean, the entire Caribbean, that's 303 million, which makes up 80%. And that's the total available market. So out of the total available market, we estimate that our serviceable addressable market or our immediate market would be 5% of this total, which would give us 15.2 million end users. So when you actually look at the numbers, if we are supposed to sell to 15.2, my apologies if I said something different. So if you're looking at 15.2 end users, and let's say we sell at the lowest price, which will be $35 EC. Where's my calculator? Let me just make a quick calculation. That would be about $525 million to be generated from this industry. But it's not an unrealistic figure, because when you look at the market, the health and wellness market or the nutraceutical market, compared to other industries that have been on the decline since the start of the COVID, the health and wellness as well as the pharmaceuticals have seen tremendous growth. And to give you my story, just before starting this business, I was employed as I trained as a nutritionist for 6 months at a local health food store. And it was there where I was able to build my knowledge in naturopathic medicine, as well as to learn what customers were buying to keep their immune system healthy and to stay healthy just at the start of the pandemic. And these were the products that were really flying off the shelf, and it was hard to even keep some of them in stock. And the only issue was that most of these products were imported products, and it was a concern because many of the raw materials used to make them were local botanicals that we could pass every day, walking down the street. So I have personal experience knowing that these products are demanded, and just being able to network online, we do believe that we can capture at least 5% of the combined population of the USA and the Caribbean, especially utilizing digital marketing and technologies, giving us just about 15.2 end users.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Nathaniel. Congratulations on your presentation and for handling the judges' questions. Thank you also to all the finalists for this evening. You all did a fantastic job on your presentations. Mr. Nathaniel, much success to you as you continue to grow and scale and build your business. I wish you much success. Have a fantastic evening. And so with this, we come to the end of our first night of the Entrepreneurship World Cup, Antigua and Barbuda. And so for this evening, we will be closing off our session for tonight, but we will be back tomorrow night for the finals. Our next finalists for tomorrow, we have 6 finalists for tomorrow that will be pitching their businesses to our judges. And we are looking forward to having each and every one of them and hearing what their business is. And so with that, I thank everyone for staying tuned with us this evening. Thank you for the Guard Center for hosting the Entrepreneurship World Cup Antigua and Barbuda, and for inviting myself to be your host for this evening. So I am Crystal Legrand, and thank you again for having me. And we will see you tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. Eastern, where we will come back to see our next 6 finalists in the Entrepreneurship World Cup Antigua and Barbuda. Have a fantastic